What have we done? So IBSD thing. What can we help you with?
First of all, I'm Donna Bridges. I'm the manager at the sewer district in Roger. I started 15 years ago. I know you guys are working on the widening of Crowley Road, and we were hoping to partner with you on that, similar to what we did on Lincoln Road. We just found out recently that you wanted us to do that separately, and so we were hoping that we could come and talk to you and maybe, you know, see if we can partner with you on that.
Where's the sewer line going to go? Is it going to be under the existing road or under the future expansion part of
Well,
it?
where the sewer line is now, and I'll tell you that we made quite a
Pull that
few
up. Yes.
repairs on the line about 5-6 years ago. So even though it's an older line, it's part of our original system, we're still looking at 10-20 years before we really need to do anything with it. With you widening the road, I understand that it would be a good time for us to replace it, and then we could locate the line where the county would like it, so that it's not in the drive lanes.
Because I think, well, let's get a map up first. I think what we talked about was trying to not get in the same problem we had in Lincoln, do too much too quick in
Right.
too short a time.
Well, and I think we learned a lot on that Lincoln Road project. I know there was some problems with the contractor, but I think, and I know that it was a lot with all the utilities and trying to do that roadway. But I think with the sewer line, if we were to do that as a separate project next summer, that would close that road down again, and then we would have to pave it temporarily. And then the following summer, you're going to close that road down again.
Zoom in just a little bit so we can see
The line in that road is, the sewer line is about 18 to 20 feet down. So, moving it or replacing it, it's not just a simple digging down a few feet, like the other utilities. It's going to dig up most of the road, and that's why we would have to probably shut down the road the summer before. That's why we just think it's a win-win if we work together like we did in Lincoln. It's the same
Is it
contractor.
in the center of the road now or on the side of the road?
It kind of comes down a little bit on it's not directly in the center. I would say it's in the east lane, and it
Are
works
you
its way
talking
over
north of Lincoln or south of Lincoln?
north of Lincoln. So between Lincoln and Iona Road would be that mile stretch.
But let me understand correctly, but before we redo that road, you want to replace the line so that you've got a new line through there. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, yeah, similar.
It's more of a thing, if you're going to replace the road, we want to replace our line.
Yeah,
And
so
it makes
that
sense to do it then, as opposed to 10 years or 20 years from now, where we have to dig up your nice, new, beautiful road. to make
How
repairs.
much delay would this make in the process? So, I mean, is it gonna?
I don't think it would be a delay. I think it would make your project maybe somewhat longer doing the sewer as part of the road.
I guess similar to the Lincoln project where the same contractor replaced the sewer and then did the road.
Are we looking north?
I think we're looking south here.
Yeah, south.
So this is the first manhole I've seen, which is on the east side of the road.
And even if we were to try to hire our own contractor, do it separate, then if we have all these coordination issues with separate contractors. So
We want to
we
shut
really
that
feel like
road
it
down
makes the
2
most sense
summers in a row.
to do it as the same project.
What's the right of way? I mean, you're gonna have room in the right of way without getting additional right of way along there?
Well, so we just plan on the sewer either being located in the same spot, which is kind of the road or just close to the shoulder there, and not move it, or else we would work with the JUV engineering as they do the widening, because where they would like us to locate that to be so the manholes aren't in the travel lane. So we would work with, I guess, your design engineers to coordinate.
See, there's the railroad tracks, right?
We probably
Yeah,
have.
The
not
railroad
good
tracks
right
are
of
gonna
way
be
now.
another type of issue where the sewer line is actually on the west side of the road, right through there. So there's some crossover back and forth.
Actually, well, it's on the east side.
Is it on the east side?
Most of the other utilities are on the west side. Now, I know you're not wanting to do any work in the railroad because of the cost, but
We're gonna.
we do have a
power
sleeve.
cross.
I mean, the sleeve that was originally put in there is a 22-inch sleeve. And it's got a 12-inch pipe now, so we think we can upsize that and reuse that same sleeve, so we can get around that too.
And this project, in my opinion, is a little bit less complicated than the Lincoln Road because we're not dealing with the bridge, which was a lot of the problems we had with Lincoln. And we don't have a lot of service connections. There's not homes that are connected on Crowley Road.
Mostly other mains meeting
Yeah,
that.
there's some crossovers.
More of a collective.
And the other utilities on the other side of the road, are they gonna be relocated before? Because that was part of the complication we had, is trying to get IBSD and the other utilities.
So the goal has been to get the other utilities to relocate first too. Before the road widening happens.
And they would be out of the right of way, would they?
Most of them are gonna probably be right on the edge of the right of way. I don't know that most of them will be outside of the right of way.
As far as the pavement.
As far as the pavement, they're gonna probably be right under the edge.
Though most of the dry utilities up on your fiber and things like that will be, we're gonna push them as far out of the right of way or to the edge of right of way. So they'll be underneath the sidewalk, if not just on the edge of back of walk.
So that wouldn't require closing.
No, they should. So I'm sending out utility letters today, agreements for them to have stuff relocated starting next spring and get them all out of the way. So they're out of the way when construction hits late next fall into 2023.
Are we gonna be able to start construction late next fall?
I think there won't be a lot of roadway stuff done, but we can do some clearing and grubbing, get things cleared away. So in this falling spring with sewer, you could start that earlier than you can start roadway work. We could start that early, right, February, early March.
But that kind of extends the length of time.
But I guess if our contract starts next fall, they'll probably have a winter time where they're not doing anything, and then they can kick right off early in the spring and start on sewer line, or I can't dictate the contractor schedule, I guess, at this point, but that would be similar to probably what they did on Lincoln Road.
But you would coordinate it so that you would kind of get the sewer ahead of it
Yep.
and be
Oh, yeah.
following with the rest of the road.
Correct, and there's no sewer between First Street and Lincoln, so there's other roadway. They could have two crews going, one's getting the sewer out of the way while the other one's doing roadway work. We haven't got schedule, I guess, that dialed in yet.
So
but,
that'd be a complete close down.
yes, the goal was to close down a mile at a time, we can't close down more than 1 mile, but to close down a mile at a time and get things done faster.
So I think when we talk about it, the sewer line is gonna probably be a complete shutdown of whatever section they're working in. So if you have that, whatever that section is shut down, and then we possibly have a road crew working on another section, most of that it may not be a full closure, but it's gonna be significantly impacted.
Kind of the dirt trails going around it.
Well, we'll try to have at least some pathway around there through a one-way traffic through, but
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I just worry
Yeah.
about the extended project, but I realize it has to be done sometime. So if it's not then it's the year before, it's just when it's part of our project, we get all the angry calls.
Right.
So,
And I realized Lincoln Road was really complicated with all those utilities and doing everything. But at the end of it, I felt like it was a win-win for everyone.
Well, at the end, when we finally
At
got
the
the
end.
agreement, because you had,
And we learned a lot, you know.
yeah, you had issues that delayed getting the agreement, which set it back too, and that made it kind of a rush. But you we've got the potential of the same delays. Do you have the same attorney?
Again, we've done this before. I think we can just shake off the dust on that
Okay.
previous agreement, and a lot of it is more, our board meets once a month. And so
Right.
it just, it's never, nothing that really happens fast that way, but we do have plenty of time right now. to get started on that.
Actually, I can't remember all the details, but there were a lot of objections that the board brought and the attorney, and it took us a long time to work that out. That's where it really delayed getting it going.
It was discussion over the Bonneville County, the road standard and replacing the whole distance of the asphalt. Or the standard was kind of geared towards a crossing that was perpendicular where ours was parallel. I was just working through that issue of if there was any trench settling, which we didn't think there would be, but it required that we do more testing, which was going to slow the contractor down. So it was really working through those issues, Roger. And I think we did.
Yeah,
And so I don't, and when you're replacing a line 20 feet down, then coming up and then putting the road base on the road, there's really no logical reason that trench will ever settle. I mean, it's meant to go back. So that's what we worked through, and that was the.
And that ended up being a certain period of time for the guarantee on the road that it wouldn't settle.
Correct.
that was tied up with the inspections and the testing and stuff like that too.
So, yeah, so it forced us to, we'd have to, have an inspector in that trench for every 8-inch lift. And that's where we didn't want to slow that down. So it's just working and making sure that everybody was comfortable. We did establish a roller pattern and made sure that everything went in correct.
I don't see any problem if we can avoid that, so we can just, as soon as the frost comes out the ground, we can start, we get going.
Worked out all those issues, so now we kind of know how we can work it. Should be pretty
Okay.
I know JB was going to provide some survey data to our engineers, so the engineers can coordinate our design with the road.
That was another lesson learned, make sure we use the same control, which we will on this.
So realistically, we could get this thing out to bid to start next fall.
Yeah, that's the goal. With Lance and things, our goal is to get it out to bid, hopefully September, October timeframe, and get a contractor on board, and then they're ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
They can do some things throughout the winter, but
Because I think it'd help to have all the grubbing and everything done.
Yeah.
Right, ready to go.
If you have the same contractor doing the installation of both, they could probably coordinate it better, or better.
that's
Would we put it out for bid that way for one contractor?
Yeah, so
to
we'd
do
have-
both?
we'd probably do the same thing as Lincoln Road. Our thought is kind of put Fortune plans on the end of ours with their specifications, but then you bring up a good point. When you have one contractor doing the digging, the liability is all on them. When there's two, they'll point fingers all if there's any sort of settlement or something. So that is a good point.
I think they would be far better to do it that way.
Okay, say put their contract on the end.
But
So it's their specification and drawings go in our package. It's all one package. It's all bid together. There will be two bid schedules again. So the Bonneville County is billed. It's all built through Bonneville County, but then the IBSD reimbursed plans kind of dealt with all that end of it. But when we get a pay application, Bonneville reimburse the county for the associated costs with their items.
Yeah, kind of sounds like the likelihood of repeating that mess we had is a lot lower.
Yeah, and like I said, I think initially there were some just contractor issues with the contractor getting that roller pattern. We had to iron a few things out, and then we hit the casing under the canal. That was just a contractor. I don't know. It was all contractor based, I think. And once we got that worked out,
If you can push the other utilities to get relocated ahead because they kept getting in the way too.
correct. And that's our goal this summer is to
I
get
know you
that.
had Ammon Fiber and what was the other CenturyLink?
CenturyLink.
That was a major
Whatever.
corridor for all of those.
Yeah,
utilities.
that they kind of ran crossways with you guys, and it was a mess.
Well, I have and like I said, this is still deep. We're kind of, I want to say a problem, but our utility's a lot deeper, so it just requires that larger trench. And on Lincoln, there were all the homes that we had to do actual service connections, and that complicated it, you know, very much. So this will be a lot simpler. There's, like I say, it's an interceptor line. There's very few
Okay,
You have
service
no,
connections.
you have no residential connects at all?
There's, I'll have to look at
There's some crossings.
there's some crossings, but
There's,
there's
If there are any, there's very few. There's very few.
probably less than 5.
theoretically, they should all be, everything should be connected there. There shouldn't be.
So
any-
there's,
there
yeah,
shouldn't
so
be
there's
any
the
septic
homes,
system.
there's the home like right there by the tracks. You know, there's those few homes there, but everything else is pretty much
We've got
subdivision.
a few along here that are single family dwellings that I don't know if
Depends
they
if they're
are
pre-75.
connected to sewer, that ought to be.
Yeah, I guess
Because if we're doing it, we should have our ordinance kick in and require them to do the connections now while they're doing it.
Yeah, so we'll have to take a closer look at
Yeah,
that.
I double check those.
Yes.
even if we run spelled out connection.
okay, show me up to Iona Road. See, because this would go and stop at Iona Road? Your line, is that
Yeah,
where your line stops, or does it go north?
so the line it has been extended north a little bit, I think a couple 100 feet, but that's new line. So we're gonna have to, we won't replace that line, it's new, it was just put in last few years, but
Some of it was put in the spring.
so
Because we're also talking about widening that within the next couple of years too. Whether we can get them all done in that same summer or the following summer.
So that new line went basically from here and it's going up to close to here, isn't it? Here's 41st North, Alvin Hatch's property, and you're connected in
Yes.
with
Something
the
like that.
Hatch Hollow, right?
Yeah.
So that line goes up to about this.
So you got 3/4 of a mile up.
And that's a new line already.
That is a new line that was put in.
And what are, go a little more to the north, up to is it 49th?
49, I don't believe any of these people are.
They're not on service right now.
Yeah, they're all separate.
What are your plans on line going north from that? Are you just stopping where you are?
right now we're stopping.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's hard for us to really project because we don't have a lot of growth.
Did you install a service line on 49th? Did you have a service line on 49th running to the east from Beach's Corner?
From Beach's Corner, we do, but it doesn't go very far. It's,
from Beach's Corner, it pretty much runs to Sand Creek and then stops, and then there's some that goes into the Freedom. Field or the first subdivision.
Yeah.
The potential, which we haven't made the discussion on, is that all the open farm ground up above, which is coming before the board for discussion for development.
We've got closed stuff in the proximity, but nothing that far.
So does Freedom Field come up from the other way then?
It crosses down and then comes down to Hammond Road.
And then there's that new subdivision, right, where, go to where Lance's cursor is.
Freedom Acres.
This is city of Iona, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah,
So is that separate?
that flows south.
That would be Freedom Fields.
Because if you
Freedom
go
Fields, yeah.
just to the west of where you are, Lance, kind of that triangular shaped piece that used to be owned by, no, back to the east right there.
This,
That's all developing too, right?
That
So
is
that's
sun-
coming from the Freedom Field line probably.
It is,
It's flowing south.
Okay.
goes south Iona.
Okay.
It's
Where
flowing
where
south.
we're connected
to
in Hammond Road by Beach's Corner
41st.
and where we end at Sand Creek, it is designed deep enough in there that they could extend the line as it develops, all
so
along.
it has
Telfair.
already extended up into here, right?
Yeah,
This is where Freedom Acres.
we just approved their phase 3 last month.
Okay, as long as you're aware, that Because that looks like it should be a fairly simple widening for us, just to get them up to 3 lanes.
I think Hammond Road, we should be, I mean, it's a 15, 18-inch line, so. I mean, we'll obviously look at the condition of it, but I think that could be slip line, so I don't foresee on that.
And then Iona Road
On Iona Road,
from 49th down past the high school.
high school. I don't think we have this one Summit. Where it comes out. I'll need to look at that one. I think that one comes out a little south of Iona Road, so it just, I think what's there just picks up the houses that were probably there before.
We're doing a study this summer on our collection system, so we'll have better data on it.
Do you have a line that runs down Iona Road?
We do, yeah.
So we'll probably that's gonna be widened too, is what
Yes.
you're saying.
Yeah, we've
We
got,
should have some better data on the conditions.
we've got a contract to get going on it. Of course, we hope to get going by this summer, but then you give us a little time to get right away and things like that.
Well, I
And
know
there's,
you're working on First Street too in the city of Hammond.
yeah, but that's scheduled
That one is
2026.
under design, but it's with the LTAC money, it's probably not constructed until 2025, 2026, something like that.
Okay.
We do have some line in First Street, especially, I guess west of Hammond Road, that there's a section in there. It's
So
gonna
it's
need
west of
replaced.
that road, that first little stretch is ours, but then it goes into the city.
By the city.
Our project is going from Hammond Road to 49th,
Yeah.
the LTAC,
45th.
or 45th. It's
Well, we
easier to call
definitely
it,
want to partner with the county on these projects.
it's easier to call it Crowley Road or Telford.
Right.
So, no, I think it's nice we start talking now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I say, I think the district would like to work with the county. We feel if we can make it a win-win, and part of it is one contractor, even if it's a bigger project, that's one traffic control plan, it's one mold fee. So I think there are some cost savings for both sides,
Right.
No,
overall,
it's just making it work together.
overall, it worked out a lot better by doing it together. It was just a pain.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, the sewer district appreciate, I mean, it really does help to be able to work with the county.
I noticed you're annexing some property into the sewer district. Where's that?
We just annexed a piece that's north of the Freedom Acres area.
We,
Right there.
Yeah.
Has the city allowed you to do that, or?
Yeah, because we have some reserve acreage left, so they did approve that. And we're looking to free up some more acreage, because we do have developers and landowners contacting us, wanting to annex.
Farther north than where the cursor is.
Yeah, it's that kind of triangle
Next
piece.
Section, but it's actually that whole
What's the comprehensive plan on that? I think
Yeah.
we're
78 acres, and it runs from Yellowstone in like the half mile there.
Some of it's mixed use.
Most of it's used on that side. We've not seen
And then
anything on that yet.
we have a petition
All
for
of
the
that is
landowner
annexation.
for Sean Seagal that owns kind of a lot of that over there. So there's a petition from him. But we're gonna have to free up some acreage to, if the board allows it. To consider it.
So you're just tapping into your reserve capacity in that 18 fund. Is that what you're-
Well,
It's
what
not
it
the
is our agreement with the city of Idaho Falls. So the city has said that what our area is now is the most that we can have. So we have a few hundred reserve acreage that we used up. So we're gonna have to identify some other areas that we can remove.
It's not a capacity issue with the lines.
Well, I'm just gonna,
From the agreed service area, before we can allow anybody else to annex.
initially that agreed service area on that line was the city of Yukon. Oh,
Yeah. Yes, I do know that history, well, the reason that the line on Hammond Road is so large is because they thought the city of Yukon. I think it's 18, starts out at 18 inches and it's really deep there.
When's your hearing on that,
On the,
the annexation?
I'll put the petition to our board at the next meeting, which is November 17th.
And then make a decision then?
We'll look at it, see if we can find the acreage to allow
Yeah, because we may want our P and Z to weigh in on that,
it. Okay,
so.
we've had no contact for the expansion of beyond where we are now. So
Obviously, you'll hear from them that our concerns are putting urban type growth farther and farther away. That's very difficult for us to service.
I see.
We'd like to see it more compact.
Well, who we're getting approached from is, Rockwell has new owners. And so they're kind of gun ho and they're looking at all this property.
We know,
And so they've come to us and now the landowners are coming to us, I think,
Right.
on their behalf. So that's the situation.
yeah, we just want to make sure we're on the record with the concerns,
Okay,
so.
we appreciate that.
All right, well, let's
Okay.
carry on then.
Okay, thank you.
we can approve or deny nothing right now.
I was gonna say, I would tell these guys, carry on my wayward son, which dates me, but he's the only one young enough I can say that to. Right?
I don't know about that.
The guy on the back row, I'd say it, but we just ignore him all the time anyway. He's the Rodney Dangerfield of. Are you here with this? Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you later.
So Kevin, I wanted to slight update for the Hammond Road project, so.
Okay,
So survey, we finished the survey on it yesterday. So we're looking at the right of way. So we may have a few right of way, I don't call them issues, yeah, but just questions that we need to probably sit down with. So
sooner the better, because those are the smaller projects. We can just keep moving
going.
on.
But the survey's completed, so we can, like I say, we're pulling the right away, we'll start cutting sheets.
Okay.
Putting the design together.
Okay,
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
all right. Mr. Rowland. Matt, I just want to see those, what are those $300 cowboy boots? We're in the wrong business here. I just noticed expensive cowboy boots. Huh? Yeah, that's probably only a $200 pair though.
I don't think you can buy a pair for $100.
No.
You haven't been looking at cowboy boots.
Well, my wife buys and resells some of that stuff online. So maybe the market's coming higher. My supply chain issue with ostriches.
Do we make them unhappy or happy?
I'll go to the restroom. You can do it.
This is way out of date. It never needs to be represented to the planning board before we can process it. By 2 years.
Nobody ever said anything had to take it through.
Wow.
And we took it over from.
Yeah, the last one was recorded July 25th of 2019. So you've usually got your year time frame. So we've been 2.5, close to 2.5.
That's our ordinance.
Yeah, when they file a master plan, they have to be done within a year of each other consecutively to keep it going, or else they have to bring it back to planning commission.
They're trying to get it paved this year, and they can't do it without knowing where the power crossings are going, because we can't turn into the hill. That's not power, until they have reports like.
Are the bridge details in here? Because the bridge is included in this.
The bridge is included in this. I don't think.
Well, they're showing the bridge here.
Yeah.
Back sheet there.
Okay. So the bridge is included.
It's been a long time since I looked at it.
So December meeting is probably here, this, we can get it in. They never brought plans.
We didn't ever see the plan, so I didn't even know about it until today.
What's the issue?
Well, they're supposed to get the plans to us on each division so we can do a review. We never had the plans delivered. I know I looked at this for, in August for the fire hydrant spacing, but I didn't do the check for the subdivision plat, and they had never brought it in to have the review. To go through the plan review for the division. And they're supposed to get it in within a year of their last approval, and they're 2.5 years out
Oh,
from their
this
last
is,
approval.
this is the one you
This
talked
is the one,
about,
yeah.
beyond the,
Yeah,
So if everything's ready,
They've already.
can
already
do,
got water and sewer in there. Be ready for curb it.
have to go to P and Z. Our P and Z meeting's December 8th, so we could put it on that one. If everything else is good to go and they approve, then probably get it done.
do it quickly on this end.
Yeah. Next
How come
one.
How come it's sat there for 2.5 years?
they changed engineering companies.
Oh, really? Who was the engineering company?
Horrocks.
And who's his Wolf Creek?
Levi Jarvis, Liberty Home.
Yeah, I guess just get it scheduled as early as possible.
We'll put it in on the December meeting.
Is that the bad news you didn't want to hear?
I had no idea.
I wish we would have caught it earlier. Like I said, we didn't see that, so I didn't have any idea until
I think
when I looked this morning, but
I emailed the improved drawings a long time ago. Everybody.
How long's a long time ago? Was it still past the year?
It was probably past the year.
yeah, it would have been 2 years even in
It probably
August
would've
of
been
21.
Early this spring or
Because
something.
Horrocks, if they weren't gonna make it, should have.
825 is what. the dates
Yeah,
are on here.
so we probably sent it in,
August.
Well, that's when I signed.
I was gonna say June or August.
It was probably
Doesn't,
before that. It's still past the year.
it was probably Horrocks if they're, no, they're
It
not
was
gonna
past
make
a year,
it.
but I wish somebody would have said something.
Yeah, can't they usually request if they know there's not going
If they
there?
have to request it, we'll request it.
Horrocks never did.
We sent it in all July or August. I wish somebody would have said something to us.
And I didn't get the improvement drawings or the plat, so today was the first that I saw it personally. I probably would have looked at that when I got it, because I usually always do. In fact, that's why I looked at the agenda today, just to see if there's anything that we hadn't seen, so.
Is there any reason why the planning and zoning would not allow it or that it would get held up?
I don't, I don't see anything particularly wrong with it, because the thing I had concern was whether the bridge was, that's why I asked to begin with.
What's the requirement for requesting an extension? Does that be done?
Yeah,
before
Lance,
It
the-
has to be before it's expired.
Is that by ordinance?
That's why established policy has been done for,
Lance required us to design a bridge before it be approved, so.
well, all the extensions we've ever done, they request an extension, not a grandfather reinstatement of it.
I wish there was a way that we could make a extension on this to get it so that they could keep moving before winter sets in, but I hate to set a precedence as well on a policy that we've always held
I
to.
know, how could we do it without setting a precedent? Is there any way?
What's the wording on that in the subdivision ordinance? I can't remember how
It
that, exactly how it's
Subdivision plats,
worded.
they have to be processed within a year's time. If they're not
So it is part of our
Process.
ordinance.
Yeah.
or within a year, it has to be resubmitted and go back. But the policy for the extension is what I was answering. The request for extension is a policy, but the request for the time limitation is.
Yeah, it's in the
specifically
subdivision ordinance, which I think is where the problem comes in.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah,
Get
I'm
ourselves in
probably
trouble.
right.
I do too. I don't think we can do anything.
yeah. Well, let's do our best to hurry it through.
We'll put it on for December 8th.
When's your November meeting? Is it too late to put it on there?
We don't do one in November typically because the fourth Wednesday in November is always Thanksgiving. And then the fourth Wednesday in December is always Christmas. So we just usually split them and do one on December 8th and combine everything.
So if they do it then it can come to us the following.
If everything.
Yeah, if the planning and zoning approves and everything's signed, we could do it the next
And in the
day.
meantime, they're still doing construction work. Can they get kind of a conditional go ahead with that at their
We're
own?
trying to get paved.
Are you trying to get paved?
Yeah, they're putting curb and gutter in like in the next week. Week or 2 weeks.
That kind of falls into your area if you're willing to kind of work with them on that.
So I
I
brought
think,
my,
I think
sorry.
I'm willing to work with them. It's just, it's one of the things that we've tried to make sure we're minimizing is the amount of construction that happens before the improvement drawings are signed. So the construction drawings, I mean, I authorized them in August, but
Because as
We've
long
been
as they're building it
to the standards and
to
we.
the
can
standards,
bring it to the
you're
standards.
okay.
Yeah.
See, that's why you keep it moving.
Have you been doing all the inspections and
My
everything?
problem is Rocky Mountain Power won't design the tower
Have you signed the file?
without a recorded plat. And you have to know where the crossings are before we can pave it. I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard spot, I guess.
And we have, the utilities technically are tied by county ordinance too. They're not supposed to process and issue permits. unless-
Where it involves them as well. I just, as much as we'd like to help on this,
Well,
I just don't see how we
The
can.
question is, could Rocky Mountain get that done in time for it to pave now? We're talking 2 to 3 weeks.
The only way you could do it is if you anticipated where it was and put sleeves in.
Mountain Power, that's where the cities are.
If you're real comfortable with designing something that they will accept, you could anticipate it. and put sleeves in advance.
Or, I know it's not ideal. How many crossings would you have with Rocky Mountain Power? In a subdivision like that?
A subdivision this small.
So if you had 1 or 2 that wasn't exactly where they wanted you.
You'd have to borrow them.
for them.
Gee,
You probably have 4. At least.
You have a pretty good idea where they would require those.
I mean, yes, but that's all it is.
Well, haven't you designated where the utilities are gonna be run on here already?
No,
They design the power.
Well, typically they follow the easement locations.
the easements on both sides of every road.
You don't know what lot lines they want to cross that.
The water and sewer are in the improvement drawings. Stormwater is, but not gas, not electricity, not power.
That's what I'm saying.
Cable.
The most, where does the service come in now? Does it come out here or here?
Maybe, I don't know that for sure.
Well,
I didn't put my total out.
so if the power's coming in on this side, most likely the service is gonna run down this easement. It's coming over here. It'll most likely run down that easement. That would eliminate half.
I just don't know whether. Get to put the pipe in,
Well,
crossing the roads, and I have,
well, if it's split service, you'd have a road here, you crossing here, here, or here, here, or here, 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 and here.
And then when they crossed, they would run it down in front of the places.
Mhm.
That's where the utility easements are on sides
Oh.
of the street.
there's no way to approve this and, just say no building permits till after the meeting.
If you're willing to take the risk on the Rocky Mountain Power. Just take your best guess and then I guess bore it under afterwards if you miss.
What does a sleeve cost?
$3,000. You bore it, it's gonna be more than that.
Well,
You what?
If you have to bore it, it'll be a lot more than that.
That's why I think what Steve's saying is put plenty of sleeves, even if you put 1 or 2 extra, and then try to work it out.
What's the rush to get it paved? Because they probably won't be able to get permits till next spring anyways, right?
He said he's out of lots and he wants to start building some this winter.
Well, see, that won't happen till probably January or February at the earliest.
if they have, depending on whether they have frost.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you other than either talk to the engineer and get a commitment as to where it is, look and see where the power is coming in, so you can anticipate the service line. And if you end up putting a couple extra sleeves in, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing, and then.
We'll try to run power too. And they can look at this and give you a preliminary, if not anything. I mean, say it has to go back through because of the time frame, but nothing's gonna change on the plat. Nothing's gonna change on the improvement drawings. And they should be able to quickly tell you preliminary where those crossings will be.
And
I mean, they won't get the full design, but they
You
can tell you pretty
you can
close.
take and show them that we've got signatures on the improvement drawings. If they want that much confidence. Or reassurance, I guess.
Sounds like that's the best way we can expedite it.
Yeah.
If you can get a Rocky Mountain Power to do that. And I don't know why they wouldn't.
They, that's pretty sticklers. About having a recorded plat.
Well,
Which is a good thing, but they can do a preliminary for you and give you an idea where those crossings are gonna be without a full-blown design.
just tell them you're accepting the responsibility. Okay. And then work with Lance if you can get that through.
Well, it'll be these
Yeah.
guys to get it through, but
No, but I
again,
mean,
the
as
improvement
far as-
drawings are already done. Shane's already signed the plat, it's just waiting for signature on it. So if it goes back to P and Z and they authorize it, I'll get it back here as soon as I can.
It's just not gonna snow lines.
I'm not holding my breath.
Well, they are talking La Nina now. And we heard from Brad, it's above on precipitation and above on temperature for the next little while.
So now we're gonna have rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's about all we can do.
Okay,
We'll get you on the agenda. So you just want to email me over a copy of the plat so we can have it send out on the notices.
Yeah,
Is Horrocks out of business or?
I'll just keep it, and if you wanna have me send something to Rocky Mountain Power or whatever, email me on the copy, CC me or whatever, and I can tell them that nothing's gonna change on the improvement drawings. Nothing is likely to change on the plat. It's already signed, but it just has to go back to P&Z approval.
Month,
We're adjusting the meetings between November and December and doing a combined meeting on the 8th of December, 8th,
See,
Yeah.
put this-
8th
put
of
the-
December.
I think it's the
as opposed
8th.
to
Is that the
second.
first? I think that's the first Wednesday.
hey, even if you were to call a special meeting for Zoom for one of that, you're got what, 2 weeks notice?
Yeah, we're gonna have to do the publication.
It'd only be a week earlier.
Yeah, then you're past Thanksgiving.
Just
shut down.
always too hard for us to get a quorum on around Thanksgiving time to actually be able to do anything. So we just found if we do it that
You guys ought
first
to
week
bring
in
donuts
December,
sometime.
then
I was gonna say turkey, offer of turkey.
yeah,
okay, so what do you need from me then?
just email me a copy of the plat. I'll put you on the agenda.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
thanks. They have a lot of problems with Horrocks. But they've been a decent.
I think Horrocks actually did pretty good. I just think Levi Jarvis was wanting to save some money, because I think Horrocks was costing him more than Horrocks.
We're paying for it now.
Kurt did Division 2 though. He's had it since 2019.
Yeah.
His name's on the notice for 2019, so I
don't
wasn't
think-
gonna,
I don't
call
think
him
it was
out,
Horrocks that brought it in.
no.
Not
Eagle
two,
Rock
not
did the
three.
master plan for 2. So he's just busy. He has a hard time keeping track of those sometimes, so.
I've noticed that about him. Yeah, we've. That's why I say he's the Rodney Dangerfield, because we give him grief when he comes in, because it's usually this type of deal.
Yeah.
What else we got?
The easy one here is snow plowing agreement with Caribou County in Grays Lake. Good.
Are they changing anything?
Well, they didn't change anything, but they do have a question about whether or not you want them to go as far as they have in the past. Right now, this 17.3 miles, nope, go on the other side. Sorry. Those are Bingham County folks,
Caribou.
Caribou, sorry.
I'll go down there and be Chad Christensen.
So they, Tammy has been contacted and she is going to be living at her place all winter long. This agreement does those miles, but it was one of those things that I know you as commissioners talked with their commissioners about possibly not going that far.
I thought she'd be gone by now, health and stuff. I don't know how we can not.
Yeah. It's one of those that,
We just have them do it at the very end of their schedule. So it's not every time they get in there.
well, and that's kind of what they've done in the past, but Dwight will be the operator again and Dwight has a whole different set of problems when it comes to snow plowing.
Just don't do it the way they kind of minimize it when they.
Yeah.
get
And I won't
everything else
put Dwight that because he minimizes everything anyway, so
done. And
Make
that's
sure
fine.
to leave a copy of that with Kayla.
I will. Okay. The language for the proposed language. I know that you've looked through it. I've got a clean set that's just without the red marks. I didn't know if you wanted to go through that one more time and see what it says. I've got some existing stuff here too, but
You got one more copy. Thanks, Jim. I left mine.
What's gonna be Idaho Falls' objection to this?
Making their developers pay.
so I don't know that Idaho Falls is gonna directly oppose it. It's just gonna mean that they're gonna have to ask permission sometimes and get their developers to pay for some stuff that normally they would not have to.
Well,
Or they would put off on us.
yeah, normally they tell us that they're gonna have their developers do it with a development agreement, then we never hear back from them.
Yeah.
So this will mean they have to do what they say they do.
And we're not pushing the envelope legally. They're
No,
not
we're
gonna
not.
challenge
Weston,
this legally.
Weston looked at that pretty close and he's comfortable
He
with.
spent a full day working through this, which you know how Weston is. And that's where we changed. I can't remember who. Was it Steve talked about the difference, just arterials, but see, there's other county roadways.
Yeah, there's other in here.
So this is in our rules or policy?
This would be in the standards for the road,
In our
road
road
bridge
standards.
standards.
One thing I'm always concerned about is we've never adopted
Yeah.
BMPO standards, but we
No, we
cite
haven't.
BMPO standards all the time. What I would suggest is if we like those standards so well, and we're not going to adopt BMPO, maybe put a few of the things that we constantly use into our standards so that we're not relying on a standard that we've not adopted.
Well, that standard's a guideline for lands. I mean, we follow those guidelines anyways, just
Yeah.
that, yeah, I can't remember why we didn't adopt it because of the,
We didn't, but we
Well,
did not want to be
so
bound by
this
their
is-
interpretations of designations of roads. And if we wanted to make adjustments,
And this
still
doesn't
could.
reference the access management plan. This references the long range transportation plan and the BMPO traffic demand model, which is approved by the policy board, of which we are a member. So that's why I didn't reference the access management plan, but I did do the long range transportation plan.
so for example, you say, the thing down on 9th and 12th, west, kind of, I mean, they made a very big deal out of that, of saying, well, we'll, when they told Mark Radford, we'll work with our developer to get those improvements done.
Mhm.
And then they never come
This-
back.
yeah.
This says, okay, do the improvements, make the
On
developer
9th and
do it,
12th. And
Or-
8th.
annex.
Which if they choose to annex, then it's out of our hands.
They don't like the standards that we've established for them, then they can annex and follow their own standard.
So do you need a motion?
Yeah, if we want to, I'd like to get it adopted.
So I think
I do too.
So I'm not sure, I need to redo the whole entire package of the standards with this in, because it will change the page numbering and stuff like that. And we need to advertise, I guess, for, is it 1 week? To
I
do
don't
that?
I don't know where the standards are, you simply have to put it on your. You want to check with Weston, but as I understand it, where it's basically a resolution adopting the standard. It's just standard, put it on your agenda and approve it. And if you're authorizing this to be put into the standards, you shouldn't have to republish the standards. It's just.
Well, I think
amendment
that's what
to the
we're
standard.
doing today is authorizing you to put it into the
Put it in the
standard
standard.
and rework it.
Okay.
And then,
But you don't have to republish it,
well, that's where we'll check with West.
I don't think.
Okay.
Because this is officially your notice to add.
Okay,
I had another
You-
question. Well,
we don't really need a motion for that then. We just need, as a matter of business, is,
well, just a motion for Lance to authorize him to put it in the standards,
okay,
to make them part of the standards, find out if we need to publish that or if it just is covered on our agenda.
okay,
Because I think technically what it is once you publish your minutes, it becomes the official publication of the change.
okay. Well, you get that, Kayla. I would move that we authorize Lance to add this new wording to the road standards.
Second that.
Okay.
So,
And can it be on our agenda next week then to adopt?
Should be able to be, yeah.
Okay,
okay. I have a question. I saw in the news that the four-way stop was put up out there.
It will probably be putting up tomorrow.
Was that a Hammond-driven thing?
It is an Ammon-driven thing. They did do a stop warrant analysis. It did meet a non-accidents. And we're participating by putting up 2 stop ahead signs. But I told them if they wanted the LED flashing stop signs, they have to pay for them. So they are.
which intersection is this?
49th South and Ammon Road.
Okay.
The one where the funky canal comes in.
Yeah,
And
we've had
and
a
I
lot of
will be,
requests.
I will tell you right away that I expect that to be a nightmare. It is gonna back up so far every day. that I just, okay, whatever, but
Mhm.
it's gonna be a nightmare.
Because don't they've actually annexed 2 corners or 3 corners.
They've annexed 2 corners of it. They're getting ready to annex a 3rd corner. And they've got land on the 4th corner that's not right on the corner that they're talking about developing to.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen or heard something about them wanting to do some light commercial convenience store stuff out there somewhere. I don't remember where that was, but
And they are also bringing an access from Woodland Hills Park directly out onto Ammon Road. And they are doing that this year too. So I think a 4-way stop there
Of course, they
is not gonna be a good thing, but
bring, well, see, it's their problem.
Yeah, and people kind of,
That's
Yeah, what they
the
ask for.
difference. They're not creating the problem and making us solve it.
yeah,
They're willing to step up because if they do the part on the west, that access, that part of Ammon Road will be theirs.
yes.
So they can do whatever they want. They can approve it any way they want.
Yeah.
If they don't, then this kicks in and their developers are required to approve it anyway.
Well, Tracy's intending to get their developer to do a lot of stuff out there. It's just, it's not moving as quickly as what he was originally thinking of mine, so.
Yeah. Okay.
On DocuSign is the scope of work and engineer's estimate for Horrocks to work on that 49th north intersection of 25th east.
I saw that on there.
So it's on DocuSign for you to sign.
Well, that's for the state,
No, that's for us.
49.
49th north, 25th east, it's that 4-way stop control
All
intersection
out
just north.
across from US 26.
Yeah, it's north of Highway 26.
Okay.
And it's that one that that's a high accident location. And so
Well,
we-
we'll sign that on
Look at that.
DocuSign that.
Okay. I have one other thing. Supply chains are getting really difficult and prices of things are going up and up. I want you to consider buying a piece of equipment, a bigger loader with a snow blower that goes on the loader. And get it for us, because the small snow blower we have now isn't able to push the wet, heavy snow in the spring.
It's not gonna snow last.
You keep saying that, but so the reason there was some money from COVID and stuff that come at one time, we spent half of it on road oil for next year. There was $800,000 left. I'm proposing that we spend $820,000 to get a bigger loader with this rotary snowplow that goes on the front of it. And
Is there one available?
so there is one available right now.
New or used?
It is essentially new. It's the one down in Arizona. It's got 100 and something hours on it.
So it's used,
It's used, but it's,
because you're gonna have to get bids.
well, it's on Sourcewell. So Sourcewell is already a publicly bid traded thing, and so we don't have to get bids based on Sourcewell.
What'd you say the price?
So the loader itself is 476,000.
Okay,
The blower is 432,000.
well, where's that much?
It is.
Uh,
And we talked to them in March about this. The blower itself has gone up $90,000 since
Wow.
March. The loader has gone up $60,000 since March.
And the
there's-
loader you could use like in
we
subdivisions.
would
and
use
stuff.
it, well, so we would use it in the subdivisions unless we needed to put the blower on, but it's a quick attach.
Because we were gonna buy some equipment for subdivisions. Does this replace one of those?
So it replaces one of those because we never got authorization to buy those for the subdivisions.
Yeah, which I think we'd talk about. I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have to.
Okay,
how many weeks out of the year do we use a blower?
the blower, we probably use about a month and a half out of the year.
That much?
Yeah.
Just
The
for that
rest of
fun?
the time, we're gonna have a bucket on it and it'll be our main loader for loading gravel and whatever. But for a month and a half, we use a blower pretty good.
You know, up along Bone Road is one of the big ones.
It is.
And getting up to the landfill.
Yeah.
And on the west side, you guys.
On the west side,
You
they
don't
use it
blow
out
very
in
often.
Osgood occasionally,
Yeah,
but
not
not
very
as
often.
often.
Wait till we have a
Most
good
of the
snow and you put a lot of hours on.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not getting snow this year, right?
We are getting snow. I'm against Roger on this one. I want snow.
We're doing it the right way. It's gonna be warm and wet, so there's more moisture with it.
That sounds good to me.
And then it doesn't build up on the ground.
As long as we pile it up in the mountains.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because what did Brad say? They're up to only 76% snowpack,
Yeah,
but
Marguerite.
that's because a lot of it's been rain.
Yeah. Well, Palisades is coming up, but it's coming up very slow. It's at 7%.
1% a month.
Well, it's
Yeah.
been coming a little
By
faster
summer, it'll
than
be
that,
about
but-
15.
Yeah, but it's really low. So if you're okay that I'll get it in order and we should have it in probably early January.
What kind is it?
This is a Cat 972M loader. It's a big loader.
It's a big one.
The blower itself is a RPM 52, which I think it's supposed to do 5,000 tons an hour.
Does it have its own power source on the blower? Or is it right
It
behind
has, I believe it has its own power source. It's a separate Cat Cummins engine on the front of it. to run it.
Money, you would hope
It could
so.
be converted sometime in the future. It's not tied specifically to that loader. then.
No, it's not tied to the loader. What it
I mean,
is, the
It's
quick connect,
adaptable to other equipment.
as long as it's that big of
Big enough,
equipment. Yeah, it is.
I see the gleam in Lance's eye when he talks about this. Just like a kid on Christmas morning.
This is,
It
yeah,
feels like
maybe.
comments we had on a articulated Steiger tractor one year. We
Mm-hmm.
had a snowplow installed on.
See, I'm a lot cheaper than Lance.
don't
I was
remember that
happy just with the truck. I don't
Yeah.
need, I don't need a blower and a loader.
If
We're still putting you in a truck.
Yeah, that's
Did you ever
true.
go up there to actually?
We actually went
snowplow
up the
some?
Bone Road, that snowstorm we got a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
the day that it snowed a ton down here in the valley. We went hunting that day and went up to Bone Road and went down some of Brockman Road and up in there. Those roads were deep. They were drifted. Even just the highway getting up there was bad, but it was funny because we started going down the Brockman Road, and closer we got to Wyoming, it was just like somebody drew a line on this one mountainside, and it was sunny and like 60 degrees. We get over to Alpine and go into KJ's, and guys are out there cleaning the windows like it's a nice summer day. It was funny. It
When
was,
do we do our road closures, by the way, or equipment?
Based on Mother Nature, we're getting closer, but we typically don't close them down until at least after November 15th. That's when we stop maintenance on it. is
And we've
November
got the gate up there.
So the gate has been a challenge for us, but they've got the posts in the ground. They're supposed to be getting the one gate up today. The other one is supposed to be going up next week
Okay.
on the
This is the
south
time
end.
of the year that you can get it when it's muddy,
Yeah,
get the problem.
Yeah,
and
and
I
it is a stout gate.
kind of want them to see the gate, and realize we better plan.
It's
something
been
different this
seen.
year.
We've
Okay.
got
You've
comments.
already got.
Yeah, it's been seen. It just hasn't been the full blown gate, but
Okay.
yeah, Dave Chapel has already talked to Ken Ray about it a couple times.
I'm sure.
I was gonna say, I'm sure he's looking forward to hearing from,
Yeah, I'll get a phone call from Chapel.
even though he knew.
You don't know the Steiger tractor's gonna comment that I'm making, do you?
Uh,
Tom Lurcher came down with he has a big articulated tractor.
On wanted road bridge to rebuild the engine, so he could
They
use it up
put,
there.
they put the snow plow on it, and he went and opened up the roads and then blew the engine. And they replaced the engine in the county.
The county replaced.
Yes.
That's part of what got it run out of office. Anyway,
It's just
okay, Kayla, I think we're done.
historic memories.